Okay, let's talk about the roof. I'm not showing you how to put the house and the roof together just because they're pretty straightforward. You glue the tabs, you fold them to each other and hold them till they dry. The roof will help stabilize the house, so it's a little bit floppy at first, but when you glue these tabs onto the roof, it'll be great. There's just little glue tabs, you fold them in. Make sure that your tip of your roof here is flush with that edge. That gives you the perfect 45-degree angle that'll go with the chimney. If you use the shingles, and you don't have to, you could just use a pattern paper for the roof itself. That would be the easiest thing to do, or I like the looks of a nice textured white cardstock like basil. If you do use the roof pieces, you can use pattern paper. This is just white paper that I embossed and then ran an ink pad against, so it's got some texture to it. The problem with that is when you add your roof pieces, I like to add a little curl to the edges to give some dimension. That makes your chimney not fit so well. So that's what I'm going to show you next. First, to get your shingles on nice and neat, just draw a line at about 2 inches from the top, 1, 2, and a line at 3/4 of an inch from the top. You can kind of eyeball it as long as you got a straight line for part of it. That's where your roof is going to sit, is along those lines. 2 inches from the top and 3/4 inches from the top. That's where they'll sit. And as I mentioned, I like to emboss it and I like to give it a little bit of a curl. So that means your chimney, well, let's put that together real quick. A little bit of glue. You can also use paper clips to hold these pieces together while they dry and do it all at once pretty quickly. These little flaps on the roof are what's going, or the chimney, excuse me, are what's going to hold that chimney in place. And you can choose if you want it on the front or the back or wherever you want, whatever looks good to you. If you do curl the roof edges, it's good to make a little snip. Oh, I like it just about halfway through this second scallop here. Just put those two pieces together, snip it maybe a 1/2 inch. Then you just need another 1.5 inches over here. Falls right about where that scallop, those two parts meet. That way when you curl your roof edges, just take a pencil, kind of roll it. These two parts that the chimney will cover don't need to be sticking out. So a little bit of glue. Stick it down on these guidelines. Okay, then the chimney So just sit, nestle in there. Gives it a cute effect without being too much trouble. And again, if you want to avoid that, just either don't curl up the bottoms of the shingles, or you can just leave the shingles off altogether. You could just use pattern paper, emboss it if you have room. I'm not sure. It might be too wide to stick the whole thing in. Here is the chimney top. Just put a little glue in the groove of each of these. And then an inside corner. Just fold them in little perforated lines. This is where I used paper clips. Get them in place and then stick some paper clips in there, on there. And when it's dry, it just sticks on top of your chimney like that. When it's all dry, you can just put glue on those flaps, stick it on so it overhangs about a ½ inch on either side. And there you go.